Déjà vu is French for already seen. However, it is most commonly used to describe the feeling of having experienced an event exactly before. Seems like it is more of a, um, feeling, like I said, than tallying what your vision or visual senses have perceived. Most of us have felt this. A lot of people have experienced this, leaving us staggered to collect ourselves and think hard on the uncertain memory or whatever has triggered it. But we can never bring it to mind. Now, the scientific explanation of deja vu, experienced by two-thirds of the population, by the way, is that our conversant familiarity with our world gives us this feeling, meaning your accrued knowledge. The fewer memories you have, the less likely you will experience deja vu. And it makes sense. The scientific explanation makes sense to me. If your expertise is minimal, you wouldn't have much to compare a given happening with. Because, like I said, it's a feeling which is triggered from, feels like it's triggered from a happening from the past. So you feel whatever's going on right now has already happened before. So it's a memory tallying issue or phenomena. So it almost sounds like a glitch that happens when, processing immense data like a computer would. The same thing seems like is happening with us, where a code gets confused and fetches a wrong line of logic from a program, just like that our, whatever experience we are going through, our logic or our brain, our knowledge is saying this has happened before. So are we then living in a simulation? Here is one of the many bizarre theories that I have. Memory is not sequential. And it's not my unique theory. This many people have come up with it. Um, so we experience deja vu because whatever's happening right now is part of our collective memory, meaning it already exists, which you can also say has already happened. Everything has already happened. So this leads me to theorize that, our creation is done with, complete, ended. Only then memory can already exist and be nonlinear. So it's kind of like you've already written a computer code or a computer program, you've already written it, and only then you can confuse with the logic from, first line of code or last line of code or something from the middle. It has to be all in there. Just hear me out because I can prove or support my theory. I can't prove it, but have you ever come up with an idea or an understanding only to find out someone else has also come up uh, to that very understanding and idea? That's why we patent. It is not just to stop someone from stealing your idea, but also because many others come up with it. And I can give you one example because me and my husband, this one time, which was like in 20, it has had to be 2015 something. So in the year 2015, me and my husband were sitting there and we were thinking of a dating app which would be really advanced, and we were thinking of many things to include in it. And then my husband said, no, I think we should do it for meetings, for offices so that, remote work, so that it can support remote work. So we were just discussing, we thought of so many things that we can include in that, um, you know, uh, the solution that we were trying to come up with. And then we just got lazy. We never did anything about it. And then 2 years after that, somebody already launched an app like that. So we were like, what? I mean, it's nothing new. Whatever you have thought of, somebody has also thought of it. Whatever you are thinking of, someone else may be also parallelly thinking about it. And also, it reminds me, one of my fellow authors had accused me which was in, I think, in the month of August or something. She accused me of plagiarizing her idea of immortality. Is this her brilliant idea? I mean, so many people already know of immortality. There are so many books that have been released on immortality. There are so many movies on immortality. And the whole reason behind the pharma industry is immortality. We want to delay, cheat death. That's why we are curing every disease. That's our main goal, to live forever. So anyway, the most famous invention, nylon, which is a polymer, um, plastic, elastic, all these things are a byproduct of polymerization. So this nylon was created in New York and London simultaneously. New York, which is NY in nylon, stands for New York, and the LON in the nylon stands for London. So the nylon is spelled that way. So when it was established, of course, that people came up with it concurrently, that's when they jointly named it nylon. There is also a famous saying, it has all been done before, which suggests that nothing is truly new, nothing is truly unique. We already know this. Every invention is a replica of what exists in nature organically. That's what we are trying to do. We are trying to replicate it in machines. We are copying from natural expressions or building on top of what we have already done, the existing concepts, um, which is nothing but memory because we are gathering knowledge, we are storing it, retrieving it, perfecting it. That's what we are doing. We seem to have finite possibility, that means, because we are looking around us and copying stuff. That's all we do. So the possibility is finite. It's all that exists that we can copy. So all we can do is maybe come up with different permutations and combinations of what we are seeing. Um, and if that's the case, we are bound to coincide with one another, with one or the other idea, if we are exploring a given set of probabilities. And déjà vu, hence, is a crisscross of memories. If you enjoyed this, consider reading my books available on Amazon. Here's an excerpt from Engineered Supreme Being Trilogy, all Kannan, to spark your interest. So it's a conversation between two characters in my book. So this female character is, no, the male character is saying, need is natural for continuation. You're confusing it with want. So the female says, but I'm sure my heart will stop beating if I'm not with you. Isn't that a need? Still a want. Breathing, eating, and resting are needs for the physical body. Everyone craves constant pleasure. After the first experience, it is a reaction from built memory, making every subsequent encounter boring. Non-stop stimulus numbs the natural state and compels us to move to another stimulation, increasing dosage. The outward projection of your wants can never seize the fire inside you. One needs isolation to close the distance and delete the split between them and the world around them. Asher's words brought the feeling of déjà vu. Shamli focused on what favored the current state of her mind and stored the rest. So this female is actually a storage device for this male character. Anyway, so she says, I feel alone when you're not around me, even when surrounded by many. So he says being alone is the best way to explore yourself and be self-aware. You can then find out what makes you happy without any external dependency. The only thing that makes me happy is you. She considered herself emotionally weak without him. So he says, what about before you met me? So she says, it was the idea of being free. Well, are you free now? Not really. Can we ever be free? So he says, free of what is the question? Because we don't know. We just want to be free. Well, thank you so much for listening. This is BB Flower signing off. Until next time. Bye bye.